Hello and welcome to Amaro's Intuitive Studio on YouTube. We are here to talk about the spring equinox and the energy that the spring is bringing forward into our lives this year between March 20th and June 19th, 2021. This session is a flower that's going to burst into bloom for us here today, and it's going to give us an idea of what is going to come into our lives, what may be emerging for us this season. This design was commissioned specifically for the Box of Shadows, which is a seasonal collective care package that is full of unique products and services that are designed by independent artists. And then they're carefully chosen and aligned together to bring you the most relevant ways to feel into your own mind, body, and spirit throughout each season. And of course, you have first access right here. There is a link below in the comments. I have absolutely no idea how many boxes are available and how long that they will last. But there is a specific page, website that you can click and at least, the very least, get on the wait list for summer if there are no spring boxes left. So thank you to everyone who has come together to bring this box into alignment, and with a special thank you to the creator that brought us all together and continues to do so, 2K's Eclectic Oasis. So what is the spring equinox? We are going to take a elementary science look at this, as well as the Ostara celebration, the calling to connect with all forms of life. Okay, Ostara represents the reemergence of the goddess from the underworld, manifesting the physical rebirth of springtime. This is a time for celebrating. And we will go a little bit deeper into Ostara after we're finished here with what is bursting into bloom. So if you do want to check that out, there will be a ritual included here at the end. We're going to do an actual ritual where we write something out and then a blessing to celebrate this time together, okay? So what is an equinox? An equinox means equal, and it's like equal time of day and night. Okay, so the sun is hitting the earth right directly at the equator, and it's not exact, but that's where we are right now. The March equinox, the springtime, is vernal equinox in the northern hemisphere at this time of year, and it's the opposite. Okay, it's the autumn equinox in the southern hemisphere at this time of year. But worldwide, it's just about the same exact time of day and night everywhere at the equinox. So that happens twice a year, spring and fall. And that's why it's a little bit different than the celebration of the summer solstice and the winter solstice. All right, so the very center of this is going to be you, okay, or the situation that you're in. This is the very center of our flower. Confidence. Oh, I love that. That is you this spring. So I believe that is quite a choice, actually, that we choose to stand tall and center ourselves there, be who we are, honor ourselves, our own boundaries, and then let's unfold what that means and how that's going to happen. So here, this is the Journey of Love Oracle, and this is going to be one of your petals, okay? Feeling, healing, and resilience. This is what this is going to lead us to. All right, and then we'll unpack this a little bit more and go into the guidebooks as these messages start to come together. All right. The spiral dance of the goddess. And what did we just say about Ostara, the goddess, the reemergence of the goddess from the earth, the spiral dance? And look at these greens. Doesn't that look like the earth coming back to life? I can't wait to find out more about what that means for us. Okay, so remember, this is you choosing to lift your chin, okay, and be authentic to yourself. This has to do with our feeling, healing, and resilience. So let's find out a little bit more about what we need to do to maybe either access this, deepen this, bring it into the world. It's going to be completely based on what you're experiencing, what you're feeling. Whatever you feel here is what is emerging for you over this spring season. From a point of light unfolding, we become a soul, then incarnate into a sacred body, and our lives become a work of divine art. A speck of heavenly presence manifesting itself through dimensions of time and space into a life on earth made manifest. The extraordinary fact of your existence is a divine happening. As though the light of the moon is dancing not only upon the water but inside you, your ancient light is dipping into the mud of the earth. This is how the soul becomes a divine human in the making. As you sense yourself moving and shifting from light to dark and back again, from knowing to unknowing, you are weaving your consciousness, your divinity, into sacred expression, manifesting your soul essence into the form of life. Threading the light through the darkness without even realizing you're doing it, you are gently allowing a seed of light in the matter of your body and your life to emerge. Your body and your life become luminous, radiant, and you assist others even just through your presence. It sounds wonderful, and it is, yet it is not always an easy path. As the light prevails through darkness, pain and suffering can arise in waves. Best to be present to it, trust that it is not a permanent condition, and wait for the spiral of life to twist from dark to light again, always moving closer and closer to the purity of the center and expanding outwardly eternally as though you are being inhaled by the divine. Filling the cosmic lungs as they reach far and wide, taking in all of life. This message is that you are growing. Oh my God, isn't that perfect? You are growing. You are bringing more of your light into form. You may be meeting obstacles in yourself and in the world, but this is because you are bringing through the light. If there were nothing happening, there would be no obstacle. Bless them as signs that you are proceeding and empower them no more. You shall be. All else is just divine timing. The inner movement in expressive flow, an outward breath of dance and light, becoming one, becoming free. All right, that was beautiful. So next we're going to go to the Divine Abundance Oracle. This petal is your creation, direction, and energy this spring. Trust. Allow me, Divine, to give you my deepest longings, trusting you to know exactly how to handle them. And look at that. Look at what's growing back there. Look at those butterflies emerging. Look, I have this little butterfly poised up here. And until I pulled this out, I didn't realize it had fallen down. So there you go. Emerging butterflies. That's what I wanted to point out. And then I realized it fell down. And I think that was just a reminder that it needed to be there. So your direction, your energy needs to be trust in yourself first and foremost, because what is divine to you if you're not able to actually surrender your deepest longings there? What is divine? What can that be? What does that mean to you? How powerful is that to you and in your life? Who is the creator of your life? Is it something outside of you, or is it yourself? And do you know and trust that you are on your path? Are you learning what you're meant to learn? Do you think so? Do you trust that? Do you feel that? Because you are meant, this is this time of awakening, okay, the spring season. If you have not seen it yet, the Aries season portal video just came out as well. So that has to do again with awakening and this warmth and this fiery spirit as well. So it's like there's this whole emerging consciousness. Okay, it's up to you to decide where you're going to direct that and what that creates for you and in your life. Are you making, this is why I put different things here, I mix kind of things in, because yes, it is of the earth and celebrating the earth, but what do you bring? What energy do you bring? And my intention, right, is to lift others up with dance and music and humor and centering ourselves. So what directions have you decided to channel your energy? Or are you still just firing kind of in a splintered manner? It doesn't mean that you can't have multiple goals. You don't have to just do one thing at a time. But what is satisfying to you? How many things can you focus your attention on one time and feel satisfied in your experience? The balance. The balance is about you and what you want. Okay? Our next petal is going to be the Angels and Ancestors Oracle. So this is really important. Who is, what energy is helping us move forward? What divine energy are we trusting in? Okay? This is gonna help us flourish, stabilize, and create a foundation that we are individually satisfied with. Okay, it's not about what other people have, what their version of success is. It's about you and what you want. What is meaningful to you? So is that a surprise at all? The Earth Guardian, rooted and grounded. Okay, exactly what we're talking about. This reemergence of life from the earth. Rooted and grounded, you cannot blossom if you do not have a foundation. And that's exactly what this is. Our foundation, our stability. If we want to flourish in the real world, we have to have an emotional balance and an understanding for who we are and what makes us happy as individuals. And then we bring that out into the world and into our relationships, and owning it. Own that, be confident in that, because you don't have to apologize for anything. You're allowed to be exactly as you are and be confident in that. You have a lot of wings, okay? So you're not meant to stay small. You're meant to soar. You're meant to see things differently. You're meant to, again, lift your eyes. You're lifting your eyes up. You're looking for the small things. You're tending to the small. You're focusing on the root of yourself and being steady before you try to take off and do things that you can't commit to, or you don't really know where they're going. Why do you want to go so far so fast when you don't actually know where that path leads? Now, sometimes that can be fun, but is that the long-term goals that you want to set? You have absolutely no idea where they're going. Don't you want to at least have a feeling? So, oh, that feels right, that feels good, that feels right, that feels good. So noticing and lifting your head high and just being okay with trusting yourself, okay, that the deepest longings that you have are rooted right where you are. They're rooted in you and your own satisfaction, your reemergence. They are rooted in you. So the Earth Guardian's message to us is to take time to connect deeply with the energy of the Earth so you can feel supported and make decisions based on your own strength and integrity, your own. It's important for you to take a grounded approach to your situation. Start at your own root. Find the balance there on your own 2 feet first. If you're rushing ahead or making a decision based on your more fearful responses, reacting, okay, you will miss out on the growth that you deserve. So the blossoming. Take some time to calm down and get grounded before proceeding further in whatever situation is you're feeling called to. Breathe, relax, and connect with your center. Then consider what to do. It's important to plant seeds that are going to grow into something beautiful rather than turn into a weed that you have to deal with later. And that is exactly what we've been talking about in February when we went into the full in the new moon, pulling anxiety from our minds, locating it in our bodies, and then doing some meditative exercises to help wash that away with some water imagery. And the reason why was preparing for this, preparing for the earth reawakening, and so that the seeds that we have planted are sprouting things that we like. And if you have been following along with the videos, you will have heard that in the previous weeks. I want to say in the last week or so, more than anything, we've really been talking about make sure that soil is fertile and prepared for what you want to burst into bloom. And that's what we're doing now. Okay, so now we're going to go into our next petal. This is the Flower of Life Oracle, and if you have seen any of my videos, you'll be very familiar with this by now. This is our ideas, renewal in the mind, okay? So this is like what's, as that flower starts to open up, okay, and starts to get the fresh air and the sunshine on the inside of it, okay? This is where our flower has almost burst into bloom. So what is it? What is the form of that flower? What is blossoming for us? What is yours? What is your idea? How clear is it for you? Balance. It's exactly what I just mentioned here with the Earth Guardian. Finding your foundation before you burst forward. Very important. For you to fulfill your potential, to become all that you can in every moment, you must be in balance. Otherwise, you are resisting life and creating tension. Okay? This is not the time to resist anything. This is the time when we awaken and we allow the fresh new plants to burst through the cracks. They burst through the soil. All this new life comes through. This resistance and tension are needed to a certain extent for anything to expand, grow, and become more. We're shifting out of this now. Learn to recognize the resistance rather than letting it run you. Anything you don't like, sense it, feel into it, and the next logical action step will present itself. This step will move you in a direction of your potential, your dreams, and desires. Take a deep, gentle breath and thank whatever has moved you out of balance. Say to yourself, thank you. Thank you for showing me what I really don't want and reminding me to come back to my balanced place where I will be inspired to create things that I do want. I am willing to experience all things, for in doing so, I become clearer with my highest loving path. Namaste. Okay, the divine in me honors the divine in you. And truly, it does. That's why we're here. The divine in me wants to remind you that the divine in you is just as accessible. Okay, I'm just here. I'm just here presenting. I was thinking today how this felt. This feels like actual like an independent study project for me, and then I come in and I present what I've learned, because I learn so much as I'm preparing for this stuff. I know bits and pieces, but in order to feel confident here for you, I invest in my understanding, okay? I don't shrink away because I don't know something. I go and I learn about it. And then I feel confident in bringing that to you. And that's how I find my balance. I'm gonna show you. You're gonna actually, really funny. When we do the ritual, you're gonna see that these are two of the words that actually were used on my permit. Oh my gosh, I can't tell you yet. They were used on, okay, I will tell you. The permission slip ritual. It's a permission slip ritual. We talked about this in the water meditation for the Pisces new moon, and this is about granting permission to ourselves to live by pure intent, and live authentic and true to ourselves. So this is going to be how this all comes together. The divine mystery, the big picture. She of the lotus. How interesting. The lotus is a flower, right? A flower. And here we have the spiral of the goddess. Look at her. And doesn't that almost look like a ram in some form too? The spirals almost look a little bit like horns. Very, very interesting. Let's look up a little bit more about She of the Lotus. Shadow encounters bring light into the nooks we don't know we have. There is a fast track to growth, and it is being real with the shadowy and unloved parts of ourselves. So when we started this, all these petals were closed, right? And then this burst open. And now there's light inside, okay? And that's the key. There's light in here now. There's light emerging in here now in the middle of this flower. It is opened and it's now emerging like into the sun, full bloom, okay? That's what you're doing. And it's a little bit at a time, and it's okay to pay attention to each piece and make time and space for each bit. If you're struggling with one part of this more than in another, like trusting in yourself, feeling how could I possibly find balance in this time in my life? Confidence, what's that? We all start not knowing how to do any of this. It's all about going into the shadowy, unloved places, okay? And shadow work, we talk about shadow work, and we don't really talk about shadow work, but we talk about the deep emotional stuff that's kind of locked away, the inner child. We talk about self-love, but that's vague. It's all about what do we mean by those? What is it that we do? What is it that we experience when we explore into ourselves and into our own mystery? Okay? This is unpacking something that is deep within ourselves. And it's not about digging up issues. It's just about experiencing life as it is and allowing ourselves to listen to our bodies when something comes up. So when a trigger of some sort comes up, rather than directing it and reacting to it in real life, even if it really, someone does deserve to be reacted to, we have to recognize at what point is our reactivity no longer serving us. So sometimes we need to defend ourselves right then and there. Sometimes we need to put up boundaries or exit relationships in order to not have those reaction points. Because if someone knows they're doing that and they're pushing us to get a reaction, that's not someone that you really want to be around, is it? We all do it sometimes, okay? We all manipulate in language a little bit, but who's doing it from a malicious standpoint to take from you? That is something that we have to start to sense. And sometimes we don't even realize it till years and years and years beyond where we've already moved out of this. We don't, 3 relationships later, we see the pattern for what it was in 20 years ago. And, that was a lot of red flags that I had no idea about. Sometimes you don't see it till later, but that doesn't mean that you have to charge back into it, open all the wounds in real life, and deal with them one-on-one in person. It's all about what you need for closure. And I used to wonder, can I possibly have closure or let go of things without addressing that person in real life? And yes, you can. Yes, you can. The satisfaction of this comes from your own soul. And sometimes when you confront that person, there is something you need to say, okay? I'm not saying don't confront. What I am saying is you don't need to confront everybody who ever hurt you. Sometimes it's better just to allow that lesson to stand as it is, heal it within yourself, so you bring more and more and more light into the situation. I know I just set that down, but you bring more and more and more light into the situation, and eventually light starts to emerge from you, okay? The light doesn't start there, but eventually you become the spectacle, okay? And I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean, everyone's looking at you, you're shining. Like a flower comes from where? Nothing. Not nothing, but like a seed is not a flower. A seed is a seed. A seed is not something extravagant to look at, but when all the pieces come together, and you decide to shine from the inside, you decide that that is you are worthy, you are enough, you are magnificent all on your own, you can trust that. Your own satisfaction comes from your heart space, your own roots and balance. What does that mean to you? And then you begin to shine. You're the flower now. You're fully in bloom, and everyone admires your beauty. Okay? It's not about physical beauty. It's about that glow that comes from your soul. They just have like this aura about them, inner shine that you cannot manifest with like things, with like, it's not something that makeup does to you. Okay, these are enhancements of us, but you shine from your soul. You don't shine from your face. So beautiful as you may be, you do not shine from your face. Okay? So this is a 3-month journey. Actually, this actually says this in the book. It's not how it's written, but this person is talking about sparking a 3-month journey. And if that is not what we're talking about, sparking a 3-month journey, that's what this is, a 3-month journey from March to June. What is emerging? Our greatest strengths are our greatest weaknesses, and vice versa. So when we reject or deny parts of who we are, we end up feeling hollow, lost, and detached. The parts of ourselves that we don't like so much, when we recognize them and gently and honestly assess those things for ourselves, they stop fighting back so hard. And it's almost like a friendship, a compassion where I'm reaching out my hand to myself to help myself grow, because I'm willing to love that part of myself rather than demonizing it. It serves me long term. It just does. So it's just about shining light, okay? Our perceived weaknesses vanish when we peel back the layers, okay? When the petals open and the light makes it to the center and you are shining, the power of that toxicity that has held you so tight and locked away dissolves, because you can see it for what it is. Alchemizing painful triggers is an opportunity for awareness that helps us to reclaim more of ourselves. As these dense spaces, okay, so that flower when it was, before it blooms, before it blossoms, when the dense spaces begin to evaporate, we can fill with more light, more love, and we create an upward healing spiral. And I wish I was making it up that I said that, but it literally says upward healing spiral. And that's exactly what we're talking about right there. Amazing. It's always amazing. I hope that you enjoy these as much as I do. And the reason I honestly do this is because the energy is so wild to me every time. Every time. I couldn't do this just alone. It's really like I always wanted to share what was being revealed to me, but it doesn't land the same when it's like for someone else. It just doesn't. We're self-centered, guys. We just are. People are self-centered, and we all are. We want to learn stuff about ourselves. So when you start to learn about yourself in astrology, or you come here with the intention to do this for you, what is my life, or what's emerging in my life, it's more interesting when it's for you. So it's really fun for me to be able to channel this energy and for other people to get to see how powerful this all comes together. So here's our final message, our final affirmation for our bursting into bloom. I see beauty in the parts of me that I used to think were broken. Oh my gosh. I want you to sit with me and feel the chills of that for a second. Because that's exactly the message that we just revealed. That's exactly what just came up in She of the Lotus. There's nothing wrong with you. You just have to remember. And that's why I'm here. I'm sorry, I'm getting upset. That's why I'm here. Honestly. If you have enjoyed this and been satisfied with this message, please share this with your friends and hit the thumbs up button so YouTube knows that you like this too. I am so excited to share this spirit of spring with you, and stay around. Next up is the ritual, the permission slip ritual and the Ostara blessing. Welcome to your spring equinox permission slip ritual. So what we're going to do here is set an intention, a very, very clear, simple intention for ourselves. It could be over the next month, or the spring season, or the next year. It's all kind of up to you how you want to anchor it in, but you have to give yourself some sort of range, measurable range, so you can look at how you have changed and how you feel different going into the next part of your life, to see if it has actually made an impact. And it's all going to be about your intentions. So I started this a little bit by accident. I don't even know where I got the idea from, but I just wrote this out. It was actually New Year's Eve. I folded it up, I put it in my planner, and I forgot about it until like a week or two into February. I found it, and I was thinking about what had happened during January. I actually launched this entire YouTube project, everything. This all launched in January, and so I was really considering how I felt so satisfied with my own creative expression and work, and how I was feeling prosperous in the process. Okay, it wasn't about money as much as it was the richness of the process. And so I decided to continue it, and I chose to anchor the energy of balance. And it's really incredible how I've experienced these things unfolding. And I'm talking about from your heart space, first and foremost. Anchor that in, and then watch how it unfolds in the world when you are committed to it. So what we're going to do for this ritual in particular, I'm going to set my intentions for the spring season. You could get a little bit more specific about this if you'd like. If you have dates, even like a deadline that you'd like to put on here, spring equinox, you could reference Ostara, who is the goddess who we are going to be receiving blessing from in this season, along with this ritual. So I want you to be very, very specific about the clarity of the intention you set here. Do not push forward anything that you feel hesitant about. So sit with yourself and get really clear about what you want to anchor into. Because again, this is in your heart space. So you want to make sure whatever this is, confidence for me might be different than confidence for you. Okay? It's not about the way, the frame, or how other people use certain words. So if you need to use a different word than confidence, find the right word. Okay? It doesn't need to be these actual words, of course. There are so many different things. Just even satisfaction would be a great place to start. But if you want to give it a shot, literally do what I did. Write this out, fold it up, put it away, and then when you come upon it later, see if it's made a difference for you. This isn't something you're going to strive towards. You're not going to push and shove the energy in this direction. You're going to set this intention, allow yourself to receive it, okay? And then you're going to, in the world, things are going to start to shift based on how you are experiencing this energy for yourself. You will act differently when you feel prosperous, confident, and balanced in your own heart. So what is it that you need? If you need more help with that, the water meditation that we did for the Pisces new moon is very, very helpful. It's actually meant to set us up for this and kind of prepare our soil for the seeds that we're planting this spring. So let's actually do the ritual. I want you to use the exact wording. The time frame is completely up to you. I want you to use this exact wording, and then I want you to let me know, if you do this, I want you to let me know how this unfolds for you. So what we're going to write is the cosmic energy of, and then choose your word. Again, if you're not ready for that yet, leave that blank for now until you anchor into the clarity of what you want to blossom in your life. So if you need to leave space, leave space. I'm going to use the word for spring, magnetism. Okay, the cosmic energy of magnetism, which to me means I'm going to honor the push and pull with my relationships, those who are drawn to me, that I feel drawn to, I will honor that. And the things and situations and people I feel repelled by, honor that as well. Magnetism is all about sensing, right? The push and pull of energies. And that's what I am anchoring in for the spring season. What is it that you want to anchor? Okay. Now you're going to write next, granting permission. Okay. Because you are granting yourself permission. This is like a permission slip your kids bring home from school. That's what you're doing. You are saying, yes, this is okay with me. This is okay with me now. I'm going to stop fighting it. Okay? I'm going to allow this to happen. And then you're just going to sign your name. This does not have to be any particular way, any particular paper. But what I do find, if you do have a special notebook and you want to do this every month, or you want to set yourself little goals and deadlines for how this plays out for you, whether it's give yourself enough time to kind of allow things to unfold naturally. So a month or a few months, again, the spring season is what I'm going to focus on. And the goddess Ostara is who I'm calling out to us, so we can celebrate the reemergence of what we're anchoring in. These are the seeds we're planting, and we're planting them in this nourished, fertile soil. So as the sun comes in and and we start to experience more daylight in the springtime, we get to see what we have planted start to crack through the shell and burst through the soil. And that's what we're doing here. So if you are ready to anchor this, I'm really going to set this intention for us with a blessing from the goddess Ostara. As the wheel of the year turns east and the air warms and sweetens and the sun dances in the sky, the ice of winter has become a flowing stream, nourishing emergent life. I call to you, Ostara, goddess of the dawn, to help my intentions grow and blossom like the wildflowers and the fruits. Bless me as I seek to cultivate my dreams with inspired vitality. I celebrate fertility of all kinds and honor my existence as a being capable of giving and sustaining life. With each new sunrise, Gaia finds her balance, united, entwined, and I watch now as light overtakes the darkness. All of life reaches now for the sky, for liberation, for expansion and healing. I sing the song of spring and kindle hope in my heart. I ask for blessings of fertility and beauty upon myself and all of Gaia's children. And so it is. I'm going to trust that in this spring season, if you are looking to deepen your understanding of all of this energy in your own life, that you will come on over to amroseintuitivestudio.com and start your questionnaire to get your own personal, custom designed session. Please make sure you subscribe so you can be aware of all the energy that is coming in. You can ride the wave with us weekly, also the monthly zodiac energies. Thank you again so much for being here, and please share this with your friends.